All right, hello and welcome back to the For the Badge podcast. It's my man Lewis, my man X, and I'm Jake. It's the dynamic trio this evening for this one. So we'll go ahead and get started. X, what happened, man? What happened to the boys? It ain't coming home. What happened? It's not just the penalty, is
I'm
it?
not. It's not. It's not. It's not. But I will say it's not capitalizing on moments you should in this game. There were multiple situations where it should not have been up to either Mount getting the penalty that wasn't called, Kane getting this penalty here and late in the game. It should never have been on Rashford's shoulders to begin with.
Sure.
We knew what was going to happen. You have two goal scorers, you have two golden boot contestants on that France team. You know you have to take care of both. You cannot leave one, you cannot focus on one without the other. That's why they're dangerous. And I felt like the first one we let go, it was a little bit of a deflation. We were like, oh, we went down first. And that from there we dug, we fought. It kind of was a wake up call too. It was kind of the paddles that England needed right then, right? Like they kind of got back into the game. They fought for it because they knew they could not get routed or come up blank. I
Very
truly feel like the
Very
boys got
Chelsea-like thing to do.
that. So I mean, look who came into the game. So,
Yeah, there you go.
but with that, I do think it is my only thing here, right? It's a double-edged sword with the PK, and I think that's everybody's focal point. And you can focus on Rashford missing that. Free kicks aren't converted as much as these days as we saw when we first were watching the game. And you hit Roberto Carlos for 34 yards out with the outside of a boot. You just don't really see those guys place kicking that accurate or on that point. Goalies are getting better, the wall's getting better. Like tactically, you can figure out the distance and what's needed in these free kicks. But with that being said, the penalty I don't understand, and my only question to it all, right? And one of my other friends played the devil's advocate. I don't understand why you put Harry Kane on the spot in that moment, being that he's lined up against Hugo Lloris. That's my only argument. This
Twice.
man takes PKs against Hugo Lloris every week. Every week, right? So I don't understand why putting him on the spot. We have other place takers. You have people who Hugo doesn't know. You have people who aren't as familiar who could still step up to that spot. Granted, now if the other person also misses, Southgate then gets reamed for not putting Kane on the spot.
Not to
It
mention,
is double-edged.
not to mention Mason Mount's guy's one and gets crucified.
The thing that I thought was the
Right.
first thing was yeah, why did Kane go up there the second time? But then I thought, well, I was like, well, he's the captain, so no one was going to take him off of that. So so he was going to take it anyway.
No.
So there's that. So there'd have to be in him to call on somebody to take it, and then they would have questioned his leadership, that he's afraid, blah 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 blah. He was in a lose-lose situation. But then when I watched him take it, and he looked like he was ready. He didn't look nervous or anything. He got it. But if you go back and look at the replay, Lloris guessed right. So he was going to save it because Lloris literally was in the right position. So he would have saved it anyways. And so would the save have been felt better?
And do you
Because
not?
maybe
But
the
see,
rebound. Go ahead.
yes,
I
yes.
think
No, the
that's
save
why
would have
he's
felt better
got
because then it puts it
Back in play. Yeah.
right. Right. That's what I was
Right.
trying to get at. I didn't want to
Right.
interrupt Lewis. Yeah,
No,
that's
you're good.
exactly why I think he skied it. Is he saw the body language at the PK spot. When that keeper is in your mind or sees it and knows you're going that way. You see that body language go that way. And it is so easy just to lean back and be like, moment.
No, you're right. It's the one little adjustment, that last second. Oh, he's gonna guess the right way. He's gonna dive the right way. Maybe I need to add a little. Oh, it's in row B.
And he did.
But here's the thing, though, with Kane,
Yeah.
as an Arsenal fan, I can remember times where he's taking 2 penalties in a game, and I think that I've seen him go opposite ways with this. And so I think Lloris, like I think you said it, I think Lloris is so in his head that he's like, I gotta go the same way. He'll never guess the same way, and so that's why he looked so confident.
100%. Right.
And then, as you say, when he saw Lloris lean, he's like, "Oh,
Well, another question that I have is like, but who else? Who else do you put there that is ready for that pressure? I mean, I'm being honest. I think it had to be him anyways, and so I'm not going to fault him or anything because they had chances to score as well, and kind of bringing up
Oh, absolutely.
what X
Absolutely.
what X said is, now while Kyle Walker wasn't perfect, Kyle Walker did a job, man. He did a job over there,
did his
and
job, that's for
but
sure."
in the process of doing his job, you left
Did his job,
everybody.
right.
Everybody else was like, the other France players was like, so you're not going to mark us? We got you.
That's
And
fine.
I don't know how true the rumor is, but I read somewhere where it said apparently the English team marked Lloris as the weak spot in the team, which is a bit silly because I mean the keeper. I mean, okay, I mean, yeah, but come on. I mean,
He's a world, yeah, but he is still a world class, right?
right. I mean, he might be a little bit long in the tooth now, but he's not garbage. So I really didn't follow that one. But my biggest
Not by any
criticism
means.
is I thought Southgate did decent with the tactics until he made the substitution, which we talked about, and I called he would do, is he put Sterling on because Saka was playing great, and I feel like Sterling didn't add anything. And that point, I was like, was that the sub? You know?
I think tactically it worked though. Um, in effect, it gave them more pressure. It gave them because not because of that sub, but because Mount came in and Henderson came off. So Henderson in that game was super side to side, chasing everything, running around like a headless chicken all over the place. And I think
Yep.
Mount doesn't do all that, and he's a little bit farther forward, and it gave them a fourth man up top. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to agree that bringing Sterling on did anything for anyone. And look who you took off for him. Arguably England's best player in the tournament. You take off Saka. When you need the goal. As an Arsenal fan, I'll never get behind that. That doesn't make any sense. But I would have argued that if he was going to
Right.
bring somebody on, Rashford way before Sterling, and it took him 97 minutes to bring
Way
Grealish.
before Sterling.
Grealish come on in the 98 that's already over minute. What? They don't
It's
ever score after the missed pin. It was such a gut punch that when Kane
Oh,
missed, they
oh
never
yeah.
like doing anything after that. It
yeah,
was, and
man.
Jude Bellingham was the one that ran up
Well, because
to be
it
like, "Yo,
was.
we got to rest. We got a game to play." I mean, they
Well,
didn't
that
look.
was just such a moment. It was just such one of those moments. Like we've talked about it all tournament. We've talked about capitalizing on these moments. Like this all of the World Cups come down to these defining moments. You got to reach up. You got to take it. You got to see yourself through. And when Kane stepped up to that second PK, I remember thinking to myself, I said, this isn't this isn't what we needed to get back into this game. So if he scores here and we go to OT, I still don't see us go. I still don't see us through. We played like we had lost from the 80th minute forward. Even before that PK, we played like we had lost. When Mount came on and got the foul, when Mount come on and didn't get the call for the other PK or the free kick or whatever, however you want to judge that, when he didn't get that, then things started really falling their way, didn't fall their way late in the game. You saw the deflation happening in this squad so rampant. And it was just, and then like you said, it was just the knockout gut. They're not scoring. It doesn't matter. You could put David Beckham on the line, free kick for Rashford. I don't think anyone's scoring. It's just such a
Maybe
mental blow.
David Beckham. I mean, David Beckham had a clutch gene. We'll give him that.
It-
Sometimes it made him kick
Yeah,
people.
this is true.
Sometimes he
This is true.
scored, life-saving goals.
I think the Giroud goal really hurt them though. Like they just didn't see it coming. They didn't. And Giroud, the man with the lovely hair, it just he did
Oh, yeah.
and it's funny because I was seeing
Frenchie
articles.
GQ, baby.
Yeah, but the articles are amazing because then people are really bringing up. They were like they were like, well, did they really need Benzema? I mean, when they win, Giroud is the guy.
Yeah, of course.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
He's a champion.
Big
He's
game Gene. Right. That's what we've been talking. That's what he just talked about. Right. He's a champion.
what it is,
And
and
I did
again,
not see the first goal coming. Like, I will say it.
No, nobody saw that one.
we saw that coming. It was too many. He's had a great. I mean, he's had a tournament that they needed him to have. He's been as good as they need to
Right.
be behind Griezmann when paired with Rabiot. What he's not my best CDM of the tournament, best center defensive midfielder of the tournament. And we might get into that a little bit later with some of the other teams, but I think that goal absolutely stunned the world. Come out of nowhere, and we love to see it. It's a Gio Van Bronckhorst from 2010 in the semifinal. That crazy laser beam, just out of nowhere. But the second goal,
Laser beam. Yeah, exactly.
the second goal just shows the experience. Declan Rice and Henderson were hassling Griezmann all day long. Or at least Declan Rice was trying to. The Griezmann he's been so good the whole time. I mean, Giroud and Mbappe are getting the goals, getting the headlines. Griezmann has just been an absolute engine in there, against the ball, with the ball, and that cross.
Well, he has the most assists in the tournament.
Well, I mean, hey, that makes sense to me. What a pass! And shout out to one of my old club coaches, Mr. Donnie Exelbeard himself. Near post runs score goals. My man just beats Maguire to the near post for the. I mean, it's just experience. He knows where to be.
Yep.
He knows Griezmann is about to dump in an absolute sick cross, so he's gambling. He's getting. It's not even a gamble because he knows the ball's going to be there, and he goes in and nods it home because that's what he does.
Right.
It's beautiful. And
what he does.
Soon as the post, about 95% of footballers would love to have Giroud's career, and I'm 100%. Yeah, absolutely. He's
100%. 100%. Are the silverware that man has? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you talk about who was around him, but he's still a beast.
But even then, when they talk
he's
about
got more trophy, he's got more on the trophy case than Ronaldo. Like, you got to think he's got a World Cup, he's got a Champions League.
Yep.
He won
Europa. He won Europa too.
He's filled every slot.
And well, not only that, but he's France's leading scorer in the World Cup, or internationally, I think, in all international goals.
All time.
Right.
So
he's not even like, and the funny thing is, you see people, and because he doesn't have the flash and flair and the media hype behind him, they try to kind of minimalize who he is. But I'm like, well, there's no way if you tell me. And I mean, obviously, in an article, would I prefer to have Harry Kane's career or Giroud? I'm taking Giroud at 10 out of 10. There's no way.
It's not a question.
Every day, there's no way. No question. I'm not playing for Manchester Scum United, period.
The question is closer if you ask who you'd want to play for you. But career-wise, trophy case-wise, that's not even close.
Because he's won the league in 3 different leagues as well, I think.
No.
Because Italy,
he won in Italy.
He won in Italy.
He won in Chelsea, didn't he?
He won in France for Montpellier.
He won it. He won in Chelsea. He won in 3 leagues.
Did Chelsea win the league when he was there? The last time y'all won?
I think he was on that team.
He was on the bench.
But he was on the team, right? And he scored goals that year. So
he scored a goal. Didn't he score versus Arsenal?
No.
Was he not?
Yes, that happened.
Yeah.
Yes, but we didn't win the league with him on the bench. No, the last time we won the league was with Diego Costa.
You're right. 2
FA Cups with the boys back in the day.
Yeah, he's won. I mean, he's won trophies.
But he did get
everywhere.
He was there for the UEFA.
Yeah,
right. He was there for the UEFA.
I love it. He was
goals
at Arsenal for some reason. People didn't think he was up to it. I loved him. I was a fan the whole time he was there. It's just I always knew his silky smooth touch, his hold up play. He always knew where to be, where to play the ball. And Who doesn't love seeing a tank just bundling down the field, swinging them arms so high? I love it. I love it.
Oh,
But even when people make the criticism of like, well, who's around him? I'm like, the Arsenal teams he had around him weren't great. The Chelsea team that he won with wasn't great. I mean, in Italy, France, they weren't great teams. I mean, the exception is the France World Cup team. But I mean, if you're going to take that France World Cup team, you could take the German team, you could take the English team, and you're saying they're just as good. What are you saying? Like, so I would have never thought of it until I looked at the body of work, and I'm like, this guy, and he doesn't score like garbage goals. He scores goals that matter, So I'm like, come on, man.
no.
That scorpion kick, yo.
Woo, and man,
Even he didn't expect to score that one.
no, he didn't. He didn't.
It's a part of history, right? It's a part of history. It's immortalized.
Game. Didn't you tell me it was in the FIFA game? That's so awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. It says I can't remember who the first one is, but it
Hard-
says first
hard
it's
with
so
the
and
other.
so, then Olivier.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So yeah, it goes him, then Olivier, and then the last one I hit was with Fernando Torres. So it was like, and now Fernando Torres will be forever remembered with, and it's such a shout out. Like I love it.
Another interesting point is I saw somewhere where they were talking about the ages of like the guys in the English national team for the next one, and most of them would be around 28. So they'll be like prime. And then while you look at that, I remember hearing the same thing about the U.S. team, which they're also going to be in their prime. Now we're comparing prime players, right? But the French team, they're not losing anything. Like I'm like, you're not getting rid of them being world beaters.
Is Giroud even Giroud might even be at the next one.
He could be.
He's like our age. It's like 31.
Yeah, he could be there. And I mean, if you just need a target man, he'll do that.
Oh yeah. The experience that someone
Benzema
like
will be healthy, and Mbappe will be in his prime.
Ooh, he'll be scary then too, man. I mean, he's scary now.
He's scary now.
What? And I agree, but
you give him skill set.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine Mbappe with Ronaldo, Messi clout in the World Cup. Like, he'd be untouchable. He's already insane, but he'd be untouchable then.
I think we'll see that. I think we'll hopefully we'll be lucky enough to see that. Yeah. We understand you hating France, but
I hope he does. I hate France.
They're gonna roll on to the semifinals.
100%. Croatia camp. Yeah, Croatia, baby. Perfect segue.
Yes, there's your segue. We're going for Croatia. That's the other side, though. France play Morocco. Croatia play Argentina. But what'd you think of the Croatia-Brazil game?
I know. Yeah. Yo!
A little bit sad.
I told y'all, don't count my boys out.
I had a feeling. I was with you. I had a feeling, man.
Endurance.
I told me, and Lewis called it. I told you.
They're unshakable. They're absolutely unshakable, man. They did what they had to do to get to overtime. Neymar puts in the soul crusher.
Yeah.
The absolute heart wrencher in the 105th minute. And they're like, oh, all right, we'll get one.
Yep. Oh, we got this.
That was amazing. The biggest talking point for me in this game.
Amazing.
And yes, I mean, I think Brazil could have won this. As good as Croatia were, Brazil should have won this. But Neymar could have scored twice, I thought, before overtime. But to his credit, he got the goal. He got the goal in the end. And then they just crumbled. They just slowly, not slowly because they only had 10 minutes, but it was like, it withered really quickly and sat back. I didn't expect that.
They thought they won. They checked out.
I think it just, yeah. And then, of course,
they won. They just checked out.
This whole knockout stage, it's been penalties. Whether it was Harry Kane skying one or whether it's the actual shootout. And biggest talking point for me is, how does Neymar not at least take one?
Well, apparently they said he was supposed to shoot fourth or fifth, so he wanted to.
He was fifth, but
he wanted to close it. So I guess he had confidence enough in his guys to say, "Hey, you're gonna get these four, and I'll finish it." Because I mean,
get them there to get it to closing. Yeah.
Who took the first Croatia penalty though?
Wasn't it Luka? It was Luka, right? Yeah. But the thing about it is, I think that's experience there. I think Luka is just but I don't knock Neymar for that because I actually get what he's doing because if you're last, you can remember in the Euros with England and Saka. Do you put him last or do you put Harry Kane down there? If I could choose, I would have put Harry Kane there. Yeah. And so I get what his mentality was. So he's not
took our
wrong
last
for it.
But you got people on Brazil like Casemiro. Casemiro's a champion, whether we hate him or not. He's seen it. He's done. He's been in the pressure spot. So I would argue that if you want to be the clutch man, shoot fourth.
Yeah, yeah.
You know you're gonna take a fourth penalty. You know that's way more likely than
a fifth. Yeah.
Your guy's missing three.
Right.
You know that you'll get the chance at the fourth.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, it's an interesting argument because do you go with, okay, I'm going to score and lead by example, or we need a clutch gene?
Well, when Argentina did it, didn't Messi take the first one too?
Very first one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's just a different mentality where there was a confidence. Maybe it was overconfidence because, well, you guys said it. They thought they had won it already. And so I think that was part of the thing where there was a confidence. So it's Croatia.
They played those PKs like they expected not to be there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they shot those PKs like, what the world are we doing here?
Right. It must have said that I would have told you before the tournament that Alisson is the best keeper that's coming into this tournament. They made him look pedestrian, which is not easy to do.
Yeah.
Croatia, man, lock the pins, man. Those are some laser beams. Absolute lockdown, bro. Don't take them to penalties. Don't do it. You don't want to do that.
And
Argentina won their own shootout, but back Croatia for me.
Well, the Croatian defenders, those guys are going to get paid tons and tons of money come January. My goodness.
Guardiola or Guardiola, however you say that guy's name.
Yeah, man. Oof. These guys are getting paid when January comes. When that window opens, my goodness, they're about to dump money on their doorsteps.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I've already seen a thing. I've already saw a thing about that. It had United, Chelsea, and City looking like they're about to buy the dude that wears the mask.
Well, I'm going to call cap on City because City already have 4 center backs. So there's no way City, unless he plays left back, because there's no other reason to have him.
Yeah. Yeah, my goodness. I just thought that
I would call cap on that as well, because on mine.
Yeah, y'all don't need more center backs. You need something.
I think that's the agent there.
We need a midfield, man. Yeah, we don't need we don't need a center back.
We need something, man. Yeah, and it's coming quick. But we'll look at the other side. Argentina and the Netherlands. What a game that was. Oh my goodness. I stood up.
Debate and rivalry.
I stood up, hands on head at the end of regulation. Just what just happened?
Man.
What is going on? Right. Man. What just happened?
It's like they gave up the flea flicker to lose the game. It's like a trick play in football, the college football. Like, what's the one where they hold their back after they fake throw?
Yeah. No,
they totally got done by it.
Like, I felt like after
that piece trickery.
After that, the Netherlands deserved to win. Yeah.
Not deserved to win.
It was so beautiful, though. It was so beautiful. And you know the funny thing is that
there was a beautiful moment.
On Twitter, it showed that they had done a set piece like that in the club side with the same players before. So I was like, and you just don't think about that. But I mean, clearly they were prepared. And you know, the thing that actually stood out to me was that the anger that Argentina had, like somebody, you know, kind of had disrespected them. Like they said Van Gaal disrespected them, which I guess context maybe. But they kind of played it like they were victims, and that mentality kind of makes me concerned about them in the next game.
Yeah, for sure. I was baffled by Emi Martinez's comments, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I am 100% fluent in Spanish, but I caught a lot of it, and that, I mean, he was fired up about how bad the ref was. I was like, did you? I saw a different game. I saw a
Yeah,
completely different game.
me too. Like, I don't know what game they
They
were
were
looking at.
favoring
Yeah.
Messi so
So
blatantly hard.
hard.
I was shocked.
So hard.
That guy got fired. That ref is
Oh,
done.
you're not joking.
That ref got fired, and I'm
Yeah,
still
they
baffled
sent
by
it.
that decision.
Yep.
I, I didn't get it. I just really didn't see what the complaining was. I mean, I think
It's nice to be the GOAT.
but I think another thing is just I think they expected to win,
Right.
just like
Perspective.
Brazil did, and that's weird because the only team who are the winners that I've seen who hasn't acted that way is France. They're the only teams that are like, we don't expect to win. We're just gonna play it to the end. And I mean, not that we're jumping all the way there. I don't see anybody beating them just because of that steal, man.
No, there's no way. It's the thing where France essentially just do what we're here. We're gonna do our thing with the ball, and we'll respond to whatever it is you try against it, and we'll be just fine. That's kind of the attitude. It's an attitude of champions, man. That's the way Real Madrid approach the game, and that's the way the best teams always have.
Well,
And
it begs the question because then I think, because I think France will finish it out this year, but I think they'll come to the States, and I don't see anybody like unless these guys fall off. I don't see that. Will they be going for three in a row? I mean, obviously they have to get this one, but that'll be
we're
some
gonna see some new
unprecedented
talent come
stuff,
through.
man.
Some team of youngsters. Some
I
team
don't.
of youngsters might come through and have some crazy talent.
Well, at that point they'll have a new manager because I did read that Didier is going to leave.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna play. He's gonna manage to the Euros, and then he's done after the Euros.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what else is there for him to win? Imagine this guy winning 2 World Cups, possibly the Euros in between. What else is he supposed to do?
He
Like,
won. He won the cup in '98. He was on the '98 squad.
yeah, that's what. There's nothing else for him to do.
He's won it. Yeah. Like what? Yeah. What
What a
else?
trophy room. What a
While,
trophy room.
while he's rejected some quality players, like he rejected Laporte, there's players that he's like, I don't even want on the team. Like some top tier guys, he's like, I don't want him here, and he still won.
Yeah. I mean, it's no Pogba, no Conte, no Benzema. And they're
Oh
crushed.
well, and
Yeah,
oh well.
we got it. No problem. Um, Excellent. Well, their opponents are my new favorites.
Woo!
I'm on the
Man.
bandwagon. I'm definitely on the Morocco bandwagon. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I was like, that Portugal, y'all saw in the chat. I was fired up about that Portugal performance, man.
They really were that again.
Wow.
They just teams were really out there like they're supposed to win. I just don't get it, man.
It was gross, is what it was, man. I can't, and I knew they were going to do that too. You saw it in the previous match. No, it was in their game versus South Korea. South Korea was so miserly, they wouldn't, and Portugal got frustrated and just started falling down. And like
Yeah, 100%.
they switched it up. I will say this. It was a disgusting display in the first half. But I will say this because I mean, well, first of all, their initial tactics were so pedestrian. They were just like, let's spread out as wide as we can and have one guy run into the middle to try to, knit things together and it didn't work even a little bit. But when they took out Ruben Neves at halftime and just went without the center defensive midfield at all, they put in. I don't know who it was, but he was like Bernardo Silva was their most defensive player for that second half, and they were all over it. They were in their face. They were way more dangerous. I'm not going to say they looked like really dangerous. I thought it was a bit of a comfortable performance, really, from Morocco. But They were way more dangerous, and they stopped flopping as much. I have to say that in the second half. But there was like 30 minutes there where I was like pissed. I was so fired up about it. And it's just so sad to see a team that should be that good resort to such.
Right. That I will agree with, but I really felt like, and that's the double-edged sword, right? With doing this, it's the whole Neymar argument back in his early career. Portugal's done this. The players do it, so like it's very hard to differentiate then for the ref what's real and what's not. And I felt like some of the real challenges didn't get called, and that's what they're mad at. That's what all the media hype's about. They're like, oh yeah, because this one didn't get called, this one didn't get called, and it was real. Well, that's how you stop that, is stop flopping, stop treating everything like it's real. So the ref then can have an actual baseline of, okay, my man went in like that. Yeah, that's a foul. Like, let me call this one. Not, okay, did my man take off like a bowling pin 18 yards down the field rolling because he barely got kicked in the shoelace? Like,
Well, a funny thing
and
is,
that's the whole thing, right? That's what you're fired up about.
Did you guys see the narrative? I saw it before when they showed the referees, because I follow what is a Brazilian guy who covers Barcelona. I forget his name, but he showed the referees for the game, and they were like either guys that favored Messi or Argentine, and he made a comment saying, the excuse is already built in if Ronaldo loses, that the referees will be opposed to the Portuguese team, which, I wish that we didn't know a lot of things we know, so that a little bit more of the purity of the game can come back. Because I think this, when you get a lot of these narratives beforehand, it makes you question everything. And I mean, will it change if there's some foul play going on? If we find out after the fact, no. But it really takes away the purity of the fun of what it is. And because you've seen the comments where, and I think this was, I don't know, I'm not going to talk about if it's classy or not, but the comments about, not starting Ronaldo. I'm like, well, what was the manager supposed to do? Like, you saw what they did. Why would I not play him? And if we have troubles, we stick him on and then we fix it. And then he's fresh when we need him. So I don't get, the criticism. Oh, well, you didn't give him enough time. He played 40 minutes. What else do you want him to do?
He's not the option anyway. I mean, he's not the answer.
And missed sitters.
Yes.
He missed the sitter.
Yes.
You watched him play for United this season. That's what he's doing. That's where he's at right now. Unfortunately,
he missed a sitter.
He Romelu
Lukaku'd it. Like,
he's got one goal in like 8 months, dude.
Yeah, I don't
Before
get
the
it.
cup. Before the cup,
man. Like, he just Well,
one of his things is and it's not, he doesn't really accept he's declined. Like, I don't really think he accepts it at all. He's physically in shape. Yes, he looks like he's in shape. I'm sure he's top tier, to do workouts or whatever. But on the pitch, that's a completely different ball game, man. These guys have caught up. This is why, like, I'm a big fan of basketball. When people are like, oh, the era with Michael Jordan, the guys were tougher. I'm like, do you understand these athletes today would run circles around those guys? Like, these guys are built machines, man.
Oh, yeah.
and they're like, well, they don't play as much. They don't, play all the games and stuff. I'm like, why would they? They see what happened to you. Why would I do that? And I watch you looking like you struggling. I don't want to live like that. I want my 30 million or whatever millions I get in football or basketball, whatever I'm getting. I want to enjoy it when I'm old. I don't want to be decrepit like you. So why would I do that way? But yes, I am a better physical athlete than you. Mentally, maybe I'm not better than you, but physically, I'm there toe to toe with you.
Yep. Right.
But he has slowed down. And that's one thing that if you want to talk about, I'm not going to say the argument of GOAT is all Messi now, but the argument of Messi v Ronaldo is settled.
Yeah,
there's no question. Messi doesn't have to play another minute ever, and that argument is settled for me. Messi's got the statistics to back it up as well. If you want to talk numbers, you want to get real deep into it or whatever, but the way they've both handled aging, I think it really differentiates them. Really differentiates them. It just goes to show in how many people, and yeah, I'm sure there's inside stuff that I don't know about and that doesn't get out of the light of day, blah, blah, blah. But it just goes to show there's all this controversy surrounding Ronaldo, and it's just straight love for Messi everywhere you look.
I just think Messi's always been the likable guy, anyways. Now, I will give to Messi's credit.
Well, he's a better teammate.
Yes, there's that, but I would also give to Messi's credit that no one really expected. I mean, obviously, he was always good, but no one expected him to be here because of just all the physical things he has going against him. Whereas Ronaldo is literally built
this big.
Right. Ronaldo is built to be a star.
Messi looks like
they made him in a lab.
Yeah, Ronaldo's what,
right.
6'1",
Right.
6'2".
He's
a cheetah. He's supposed to be this good.
Yeah. Have you watched the sports science behind who was better back in the day? Ronaldo is the quote unquote perfect physical specimen to play any position on the soccer field. He could move to any position and be physically adept to play it. But he has the right speed, the right jump, the right vertical, the right height, the right he is designed to play this game. And my man Messi looks like a Lego man. My man, like the little Lego setup that we used to all play with the springs.
Yeah,
Messi looks like one of those little guys putting in the GOAT conversation. I love it.
And Messi, you think it's interesting. Well, I think it's interesting because you look at a lot of the smaller footballers now really emulate him. Like Bernardo Silva is damn near a Messi clone. Like he plays just like him. I mean, he's obviously doesn't have the skill set he has, but he plays so much like him. And you see a lot of these other smaller guys that just manage the pitching. Like, how the hell do they do that? But that's because Messi got rid of it. So again, while I don't necessarily subscribe to GOAT only because athletes get better over time, Messi and Ronaldo. Well, first of all, I'm thankful that I've been able to be alive and understand the sport to see these guys be as good as they are. No one, it's unlikely any other generation is going to get something like this. This is insane that we got two guys this good. But I give Messi a nod because he has managed everything a lot better. Now, I mean, obviously there's some fire under the collar for Messi, and he showed it. Yeah. But I think I agree with you, Jake. And it's just the personality wise, he won't win the public opinion of it just because he's not likable, and he does good things. Like people can't throw out that he does great things for people and society. Ronaldo does, and he probably will continue to do that. Yeah, but his ego.
This isn't a question of their philanthropy. It's not a question of who's the best man.
Right.
It's not a question of who's the best man.
It's who's better for the locker room. Right. It's who's better for your locker room at this point. And it's flag. Who's got to be Messi at this point, right?
And if you remember in the last podcast, I asked the question. I said there was a lot of stuff swirling around them that seemed like it would be unsettling, and clearly it got to him. Because Pepe, first of all, I don't know why he was on the field. I don't know why he's 4,000 years old. I don't know why they kept starting.
A legacy pick, baby.
But because when they started the tournament, he didn't play the first game. So I don't understand why they went there like they needed it or something like that. Again, I think that was just an insult to the teams. And the Moroccan team was like, okay, we got one. We got a dinosaur out here. We're going to get him. And that's what they did. And it's rough because Morocco lost a key cog in what they got, which is why I think it will be difficult for them going forward.
Yeah, I mean they were injury hit to start the game, but I think that it's very interesting to me that both Croatia can be said about them as well. That I mean, defense wins championships, and Morocco they've defended better than anybody. That's the statistic That's simple numbers. They've defended better than anyone the whole tournament. Yet another shutout. From my man Bono in the goal. What, dude? How many times is my man just doing cartwheels in the goal? Just doing backflips in the goal. Like my man is on fire.
Standing on his head.
Yes. I love
Straight
it.
standing on his head. Yeah.
But you could see he was feeling it too. Like he was in his own.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's just such a good place to be, man. That's just
wearing it.
a time or
Oh,
two. I managed to get it. I managed to find a nice groove on the field.
It reminded me of Czech in the Champions League final against Bayern, where if he wasn't in there, they lose that game. Obviously, Drogba has to score, but Czech was on fire.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I think that's one that you can say when you see goalies get in the zone, that was sort of similar to that.
Absolutely. So that's some Tim Howard v. Belgium stuff.
Yeah.
And he's definitely gonna have to bring that kind of a performance next time round.
That's the second game, right? Is that the second game?
Dog walk.
Yeah, it's
Morocco.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they're both. Yeah, it's Wednesday.
No. Argentina's
Because
tomorrow,
Argentina plays tomorrow. Yeah.
and the other one's on Wednesday. I disagree completely, Xavier. I think it's going to be a tighter game, but I think France are too much. I think the dream comes to a close here, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Like I don't mind cheering France,
Do we
but I'm
see?
not. I think they're going to win though.
Do you see a rematch happening here? Can we see a Croatia-France rematch with
I think so.
Croatia coming out on top?
I think so.
Underdog story of the nation. Oh, dude.
I think so.
I would love
Run
to
out
see
of
Argentina
gas,
go
just
down
like
there.
they did.
I do not want to see Messi in the final.
I kind of do, but this is the only reason I want to see it, is because I've been critical of the Argentine defense for a while, and I just don't see it. And I think France would. I think if they play France in the final, France like clobbers them. I think they clobber them. It's not even going to be close. And the funny thing is, we've seen some legendary players cry leaving. We saw Neymar go out first, then we saw Ronaldo go, and I don't see Argentina winning the cup. If they do, I won't be mad, but I don't see them winning it. But also, I don't. While I have a feeling Argentina will win the game versus Croatia, I got a feeling again. But I think my feeling is more about will they allow Croatia to win? That's really my question, because I think the officiating will play a huge role in this game. And I hate for it to feel that way, but because like when we talked about it last time, I said I had a feeling about Croatia.
I know.
I didn't mention anything about officiating because I just thought Croatia would be able to step to the plate. This one, I don't question their ability. I question it, are they playing 12 versus 11?
Yeah.
And I'm because you want the Messi final, Messi versus Mbappe, the past versus the present, or handing the baton off, or whatever they want to do, or does Messi get, finally the thing? And I think if they catch France is gonna mollywop them, man.
Yeah. I agree completely. I would say that I don't know though. Croatia are just they're so tough in that midfield, and I don't know if Argentina offers enough going forward.
I mean,
know,
outside of Alvarez, man, outside of Alvarez. Now,
mean,
I will throw, I guess a bone, or what if it's Morocco and and Croatia? What do we do? First of all, FIFA would hate that. I'm gonna just be honest; they would hate that.
they would hate that so much.
But wouldn't that be a beautiful final?
It was. It was kind of a boring first round game. Morocco played Croatia in their very first game of that group, and it was a tight 0-0. It was kind of a tepid affair. So FIFA would hate that so much. But I think that it's going to be attack versus defense for Morocco and France. Got any official predictions? Let's see. Patrick sent me some predictions, and he supposes that France is going to win 3-1. Just straight collie wobble, molly
3-0
wobble.
is what I was gonna say.
What'd you say? 3-0?
Yeah, 3-0 is where I was at, bro.
I don't know.
3-0.
That D is miserly. That D is miserly.
One.
I'm thinking it's going to be 1 or 2-0.
I think I got a 2-1
Giroud
France.
2, Mbappe 1.
2-1 France.
I got 2-1 France.
Giving them the narrow victory. I think this one will be close. I don't think Morocco get blown away.
I don't think so either.
They don't open up enough. But maybe
France is flying so high after beating England. Are
Yeah.
you?
if France
dude, they are.
if France get a 2-0 in the 10th minute or something like that, and Morocco have to come after it like way early, it could get ugly.
Yes. Yes.
It's over.
They will do it. They will score.
We could see a 6-0 and it would just all you could do is shake your head, just like
Embarrassing.
And the thing is, it will be
Yeah.
Mbappe and Giroud basically saying, "Hey, which one of us is going to win the golden ball? Which one is winning the golden boot?" Because that's what it would be about at that point.
Hey, hold up. I will argue vehemently that Griezmann has a shout for golden ball.
I agree with that.
Despite not having the goals,
He has the assist.
So important to that team.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I
my
agree.
man Patrick says Argentina 2-1.
I think that go depends. Man.
Like
they go depends.
Heavily favoring overtime for sure, at least.
I can't give a score.
I think it's 1-0 Croatia in OT. 1-0 Croatia in overtime to avoid pins, but kill Argentina Mario Götze style. Luka Modric with the boot.
There's precedent. That's exactly what happened last time. Because Croatia and England went to overtime in the semis of the last World Cup. And Croatia won in overtime instead of like, we're not taking penalties again. I'm over this.
Smacked them.
I saw a stat, or I heard a stat that
you're gonna win 1-0.
Yeah. I heard that Croatia have not won a game in regulation since France '98.
Well, that makes it interesting for a France-Croatia final.
Like in knockouts. I think they won 4-1 over Canada, but like in knockout games.
They deserve it. They deserve the extra shot, man. They deserve it.
Oh man, I don't know. I
felt like ever since Brazil went out, it's France's to lose. It's France's tournament to lose. If they go, they'll win.
Lose from the get. I think that I'm gonna have to go with my heart on this one. And Messi in the 119th Mario Götze style for the 2-1 Argentina.
He doesn't get it back. No.
I think regardless, whoever wins, they're gonna lose to France anyways. It's what does Messi cry tomorrow or does Messi cry on Sunday?
Yeah,
on Sunday. Yeah.
Wow, that's rough. Okay, so say it's France Argentina. Say it's the favorites. Who wins the for the badge match? That third place game.
Ooh.
Croatia, Morocco.
Croatia comes out and kills Morocco. It's just defense. Croatia sees Morocco in the third place match. I'm calling pins. It doesn't matter. It's going to pins.
Oh my God.
If that is the third place match, I think they play open. And it depends on how many bandages Morocco is running around with, because I'm sure half their team will be hurt on the side somewhere. So I would pick Croatia to win that game only because Morocco will be playing with, bandaged up and taped up.
So before the badge match is always one of.
Here's how I see it, right?
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say, here's how I see it. With the for the badge match, Morocco's already had their 3 wishes out of the genie lamp, right? They made it out of group. They beat Spain and then they beat Portugal. That's it. That's all you get. They're just gonna get smacked. Croatia
They
penalties
have
against Morocco. But
resets.
anyway, sorry.
No, I think that in the past, history tells us that the third place for the badge game is a barnstormer. You know, the Germany Uruguay in 2010 was wild. The Germany Italy in 2000, or not Germany Italy, the Germany in Portugal in 2006 had the couple of Bastian Schweinsteiger rocket launcher laser beams from 35 yards out. Um, yeah, so I'm hoping that you're correct, Lewis, that it's an open game and it's 4-3 Croatia or Morocco, whichever.
I just think they're Morocco was gonna be happy regardless because they weren't supposed to be there anyway. So if they're playing in the third place game or in the final, they're gonna play super open because what the hell do they have to lose at this point?
Yeah, like you already made history. You already made history. The first African team ever. So
Well,
you're good to go.
now I bet I would make, and you'd probably make a ton of money, and I'm not a betting man, but I would bet on Morocco winning the World Cup only because I bet the payout on that would be insane.
So Brian actually, you remember Brian? He actually
That's what I
sent
told
me,
you about the Croatia-Brazil game, baby.
bro. He sent me a thing. He sent me a thing where this guy at the beginning of the tournament put in a bid, $500 on. It's 100-1 on Morocco at the beginning of the tournament. So it's a 50K
Whoa.
payout, right?
Ooh.
And the
It's
casino,
Leicester City to win the league.
the casino yesterday offered him $1,200. Offered him $1,300. No. Excuse me. It was $3,800. They offered him $3,800
Oh, I'd take that.
right now.
I'd take
Ooh.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Bro, that's what I told Brian. I was like,
take
I'd
that
take
all
that
day.
money in a heartbeat.
yeah, I'd take it. I'd take it.
I have
I'd take
no
that
faith.
all day.
I'm praying to Allah that they do
Oh,
it. I'm I'm hoping, but I have no faith. Zero.
I mean, they got the home field advantage. I mean, the crowds are there
I agree,
for them. They are the pride of the
oh,
African
the
continent.
whole, yeah.
Yeah, but France have no issue being villains.
No, yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
We'll put 5 on you
No,
and silence the whole crowd for 90
that's
minutes.
in their history. That's
They're
in their
like, hey,
blood. They
like
don't care. Yeah, they'll
you're,
make you cry.
yeah.
They're gonna guillotine their. Yeah, no.
Let them eat cake.
Well, there's one last thing I wanted to touch
Yeah,
on. And
exactly.
I don't know if y'all saw all this hullabaloo about Gio Reyna and Berhalter.
No, I didn't see it.
Have you seen any of that? So it's come out in the media that at the beginning of the tournament, Berhalter told Gio that he was going to have a very limited role in the tournament. And so Reyna started like not training as hard and like really took it badly and was like, maybe back talking or was like having a, causing a, disruption in the team in the locker room and whatever. And but then he apologized and this is all, I read one thing on Twitter or whatever. And then he apologized and it was supposedly all good, but this is the reason. It wasn't some phantom injury, it wasn't tactical, it was like discipline the whole time.
I why would any manager of adults or a team say that to a participant of the team? I don't get that. I'm not excusing what he did, but that doesn't sound like leadership.
I am pretty sure. I am 99.99999% sure that my man James Madison had that same conversation. First off. Secondly, you're exactly right. You don't walk up to somebody and just be like, "You're sitting down for the next."
Yeah, you're riding the bench. So don't know why.
Why even pick him for the team?
You're right.
Just leave him home if that's the case.
Yeah, and
You're right.
X, you don't even know. I mean, you know that you don't even have to get me started on James Madison. What up? what a waste of a World Cup.
I know.
It was a waste even if he got on the field.
Well, he only got in because James and Chile got hurt. He only got in because he was like, all right, who's next on the English list? Top 20.
Why does the
Matt.
FA have to care about an Ivan Toney betting scandal? Like,
Yeah, man, he should have been there. He should have been there for sure.
Right.
you know, like, come on. There's plenty.
I don't understand why Tomori wasn't picked. I don't understand why. Bring Tomori. You have a problem with speed, keeping up with Spain. Guess what? You left one of the fastest English center backs in Italy. Sorry about you.
Yeah. But we're already past.
I get it. He's young. He
We're
makes
already
dumb
past
mistakes. I get
Southgate.
that. I know.
I think
Yeah, I don't-
Southgate, Southgate should resign, I think. They're probably calling for it in England, but yeah.
But who replaces him? Who replaces
I
him?
would.
You?
No, I said who?
Frankie Lampard, baby.
No. X said I would.
Frankie.
Wait, X is going to be the next England manager?
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I'm the assistant.
Me.
I'll be the forwards coach. You bring me
I
along.
got you. Yeah.
Well, did you see that they were talking about
the whole for the pot? Yeah. No, the whole.
For Brazil, they're talking about Ancelotti might be the next manager. I know they mentioned Pep, but there's no way Guardiola goes anywhere in the next 3 years because he has a monster that once he, as a City fan, I've already accepted. Once he wins the Champions League with them, he's leaving. As soon as he wins it, he's gone. There's no reason to be there after that.
Yeah, he won't even go back.
He's gone after that. But I can see him coaching the national team. But they're talking about Ancelotti would leave Real Madrid after this year and be the Brazil manager, which would be intriguing, I think.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see somebody who is uber successful at the club level take the helm at international. It's a bit different. For example, I just heard a thing that said the Morocco coach only been there 3 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But he got the job 3 months before. What it is for me, and I was talking to Lauren.
I'm just about to get paid.
We thought that if you look at him, we have this thing where we look at the manager and try to decide what, his actual profession is, like what he might actually look like. And I feel like, and Lauren agrees with me, that this dude looks like he's like the son of a sultan, like the son of like a mob boss somewhere, son of some Don Raphael dude somewhere, and they're like, you go be the face of the team. We'll put the money behind you. You just do what I say, and you tell them what I said. Like some Roman Abramovich stuff going on.
I was about to say we called Roman, and they said all you got to do is look pretty.
Yeah, just smile for the camera. Be friends with Hakeem Ziyech. It's all good. Yo, what about your man? What about your boy, dude? He's killing it for Morocco. Can't touch a blade of grass in London. Like, what's he doing it? I mean, did you see that coming? You ever think he had it in him?
I didn't. No, because honestly, I didn't like him when we were scouting, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna buy Hakeem Ziyech. We're gonna bring this guy to Stamford Bridge." So I started looking into it. I was like, "All right, let me watch the video." I didn't see the allure to even bring him. We had Christian Pulisic. We have Raheem Sterling. We have wingers. We have Kai Havertz. We have people who do the same exact job as this guy. He adds absolutely nothing of value to what we actually need in terms of place fillers. And then he shows up in this cup and he's like, "Hey, I'm the next best thing out of Africa. I'm the next I'm the next Mo Salah, bro."
You put that flag on the chest.
I guess it's the Chelsea thing, because Chelsea.
He plays better for the flag. He plays better for the flag than he does for the badge. And there's some players who don't do that. There's some players who play for their badge instead of their flag. There's players who, and it wobbles back and forth. And I think he's one that's really taken upon himself to carry. He's like, the country's on my back. I'm the best one. I have the biggest name. I'm here. We're gonna take this as far as we possibly can. Sorry about you. I just really think they're about to get dog walked on a collar, taken around the neighborhood, put back in their cage. I just think France is about to hate walk the rest of this tournament.
You think he can hit the ground running and kind of build on this for the rest of the season at Chelsea?
I don't think Chelsea play. I think Chelsea sells him. He's been on the way out for the last half season.
I would make the money. I'm
He
with
doesn't
you.
start for us.
I would make the money. I mean,
Exactly.
Chelsea has shown that they can make the money.
We won't start him. We won't play him.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Chelsea's proven one thing to me in the last 5 years. Roman or Boley, now it's more evident than ever at Boyley Shore FC over here. Roman was discreetly making the money. Roman would play the game, play the trophies, win the cabinet, or fill the cabinet, and then play the checkbook kind of behind the scenes. Oh no, we made 70 mil on Eden Hazard. Yeah, he's one of our best players, but we sold him, and trust me, like it's gonna be a good deal. Yeah, we sold Thibaut Courtois. Yeah, we sold Alvaro Morata. We sold Olivier Giroud. We made we were a money-making club. We were a money-making club.
But doesn't
We
Chelsea owe him
money.
like $1 billion, like some $3 billion or something like that? Doesn't Chelsea owe him a ridiculous amount of money?
Him the value. We did. We owed him the value of our club. So Boyley paid $6 billion for Chelsea. Chelsea was also in debt to Roman Abramovich. The foundation was in debt to Roman Abramovich, $6 billion.
But only FA did let him make money.
I don't know the exact legal workings of this. Well, it's the whole Barcelona series, right? He paid the FA, he paid FIFA, but constantly wrote it in debt underneath the foundation. So he was like, I can front you the money all day. People are going to get paid. But I'm not letting this come out of my bank account because, you know, I'm about to fund a war against Ukraine here in 3 years that nobody knows about. So, like...
I got nothing, man.
But we made money as a club, and that's just not what I don't think we're in the idea now where we're going to have to spend money to make money because that's the American ideal behind it, and that's just not going to work out for us. I'm shocked Ronaldo's not in blue with a CR7 sitting at Stamford Bridge right now. I am beside myself.
I am shocked they didn't do that either.
Yeah, they wanted to. They would have if not for old TT. Old Tommy
Potter said no. Yo, you want to start me on a soapbox?
No.
Potter said no to the CR7 deal this time. That's what got Tuchel fired. Potter has a worse record than Tuchel. Why fire Thomas Tuchel? I'm done. We'll talk about it later on another podcast.
Potter out.
Well, now I will say for Tuchel, his thing was you could see that his personal life stuff was starting to affect him. And I think that's really where he kind of lost the plot. And so,
the maids are the only one in the house.
Yeah, so I hope, you hope he's better and he needed the time away because he'll get a job. It's not like he won't get another job.
No,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think this has been a fantastic episode. I am really pumped about the semifinals coming up tomorrow and on Wednesday. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, get all of the notifications for new videos and the like. And of course, we will be back for the rest of the tournament. Thanks again. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.